Hey guys, it's Keelan here, and today we're going to talk about the differences and just the overall review between Full House and Fuller House. So we're going to go ahead and get started. First off, I want to say a little criticism about what I thought about the new season of Fuller House. I feel like they didn't face real problems. Like, I remember as a kid, you know, the girls just got into trouble that I could relate to. I'm trying to think of an example. Like DJ going on her first date, or lying, you know, like real problems that children have. And today, in the Fuller House, I felt like the kids kind of did things that ain't realistic, like jumping out a window at school and trying to leave, or starting a fire drill with the water falling down. Like, that just felt very unrealistic to me. Also, you could tell the kids were really acting, like they were really trying to be a part of the role. And I think the girls did a much better job at this as a kid. Like, they just made it feel like a home, like you're really looking into someone's home, and it doesn't feel the same with Fuller House. You could definitely tell it is a show that you're watching. I also have to say that Fuller House felt like it was more for children, like that it should be on a Disney Channel type of thing, other than like how Boy Meets World is now, the new Boy Meets World, how it's kind of on the Disney Channel. I feel like Fuller House should also be like that. It wasn't more of a reality sitcom like Roseanne or something of that sort. So I think it was definitely viewed more towards children. Let's talk about some of the changes that I've noticed. The first change that I really noticed that stood out was Uncle Jesse's attic. First off, they showed that Nikki's and Alex's bedroom was on the opposite side of where it was on Full House, and it was way smaller than it was on Full House. And then the bed upstairs. If you remember back when Uncle Jesse was building his attic room apartment, that he made a bed that went into the wall like that. And he was like super proud of it because it gave them more space as a living area. And Kimmy now has a regular, it looks like a full or a queen size bed off to the side, which I see kind of pointless if they have a bed that goes into the wall. So that I've noticed changed. Moving on into the kitchen, the only thing that's really changed is obviously they moderned it, so it looks more like a 2016 kitchen. They got rid of all the wood paneling, so if you go back to Full House and look at their kitchen, they had wood paneling on the back of the wall by like the washer and dryer, and it just made it seem nice and warm and cozy, like a family home decades ago. And now it's more modern, and it's just paint. They got stainless steel appliances, you know, like with an ice maker on the fridge, and the sink has moved, I believe. I'm trying to think. I think the sink has moved from being in the middle of the island to the back of the island. Let's move into the living room. The only thing that's really noticeable in the living room is they changed the paint color. They made it a lot lighter, so it looks more homey and warm. They got rid of the darker colors, and you can actually see into the nook now, where the little reading nook is. Before it was so dark you couldn't really tell what was back there. But in Fuller House you can definitely see inside of the nook and tell what's going on in there. They also changed the carpet coming down the steps in the living room. They still have the same furniture just about, and still no TV, but if they were watching TV, we wouldn't want to watch them, right? So those are like the main differences that I could tell. Now let's go on to the characters. First off, Uncle Jesse. Everyone loves Uncle Jesse. Everyone still loves Uncle Jesse. He's just everyone's uncle. Rebecca, she was more of a mom type back in Full House, and now she seemed to step up in the role of just loving babies. That's her thing on Fuller House, is that she loves babies. Danny Tanner still loves to clean. That's one of his things, is always, just as Full House and Fuller House. They still love to clean. He moved to Los Angeles with Uncle Jesse and Rebecca. And then Joey has moved to Las Vegas to do more of his comedy. And he still has Mr. Woodchuck. Moving down to DJ, obviously, you probably already know this, but her husband, Fuller, Mr. Fuller, I don't know his name, passed away, and he was a firefighter. And they have 3 children together. So that's the reason why they moved back into the home, is because he passed away. And now she's trying to decide who she should date, her old boyfriend Steve or this new guy who I'm not going to be able to remember his name at the moment. But that's what's going on with her. And who are we at next? Stephanie. Stephanie reminds me a lot of Uncle Jesse in Full House. So take Uncle Jesse's role in Full House and move it to Stephanie in Fuller House. And that's about how that goes. You know, she likes to party and run and have fun. And she's the cool aunt. Also, she just announced that she's not able to have children. So I'm expecting in the seasons to come, maybe she'll mysteriously get pregnant or something. I'm not sure, but I can see that's building up to something major. And then Michelle, they make a lot of references to Michelle in the show, which is kind of funny. At the very beginning, they said she was too busy making a fashion empire, which is funny because that's what they're actually doing. And then later in a couple episodes, Gibbler bought her daughter a actual dress, like for her 13th birthday or something, and she said, no wonder, or how did that go? I'm sorry. Her daughter said, I got like a real name brand dress, and it was the Olsen twins, and Gibbler was like, no wonder they don't have to act anymore because they're making millions off their fashion. Which I thought was a little funny how they incorporate her in there since she doesn't want to be a part of the show anymore. So I don't see the Olsen twins ever coming in to just be a part of the show at all. At this point, they're making too many jokes, and I'm sure that they're going to get offended by it. But then we go over to Gibbler. Gibbler is completely the same as she was in Full House, as she is in Fuller House. The only difference is she's older and she's a mom. But she's still quirky and weird and funny, and her feet still stink. So you're getting the same Gibbler. And then we're going to go down to Comet. Apparently Comet had a puppy that had a puppy that had a puppy that had a puppy, and is now a part of their family. So they do still have a golden retriever, which is my favorite dog, so I was pretty happy about that. And DJ has 3 kids. I'm not going to remember all their names. Anyways, they're about the same age difference as the girls were in Full House. And then Gibbler also has a daughter, and they all live in the same house. So now that everyone that lives in the house now is DJ, her 3 boys, Gibbler and her daughter, and Stephanie. That's who all lives in the new Fuller House. And everyone else has moved out, and Danny gave the house to DJ to live in now. I'd have to say overall I enjoyed Fuller House. I can't wait for the 2nd season to come out. I'll definitely be watching just because I grew up with Full House. I have to say the new generation might not really like Fuller House because I feel like you just might need to really watch Full House to understand Fuller House. So unless you're going to sit your kids down and let them watch all the series of Full House, they might not enjoy the Fuller House. But I'm pretty excited, and I'm glad it came out, and I'm glad that I got to watch it. So if you haven't watched it yet, you should go watch it just because it will make you laugh, and it's pretty quirky, I guess you'd call it. I do think they emphasize a little much on the background noises as like the laughing and chattering and that kind of stuff that's like in the background music. I think they emphasize that way too much, but that's just what makes it quirky, and that's what makes it Full House. So you should go watch it, and if you like my video, please like and subscribe. Subscribe right now. Alright, and like my video, and please share. Bye.